Speaking of which, when we look at how the various markets have been performing, stocks, they're near all-time highs, which suggests more economic growth. But long-term interest rates are near three-year lows, which suggests a slowdown. And despite very tepid inflation readings, gold is now at this six-year high. So what's going on? Scott Nations joins us tonight to talk about all of this. He's President and Chief Investment Officer at Nationsshares. Scott, always good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks very much, Bill.
What specifically is gold's message right now? Why do you think it's been going up?
I think there are really three drivers for gold, not only now, but generally. There are three drivers. The first one is interest rates. When interest rates are low, the opportunity cost for owning gold, which doesn't pay interest or dividends, is lower, and so people are able to buy more gold. And we see, as you pointed out, interest rates historically very low. Long-term rates down 0.75 percentage point over the past 6 months. The second driver is the dollar. The dollar's fallen quite a bit over the past month against a currency, against a basket of foreign currencies. And if you're buying gold in another currency and it's denominated in the dollar, then it's cheaper than it used to be. It's easier to buy. Bill, those things are we can quantify. There's a third, and that's geopolitical concern. That's tough to quantify. And if you're focused on what's going on between Iran and the United States, and there's plenty of geopolitical concern for people to think is an impetus for buying gold.
So, Scott, if geopolitical concerns are hard to quantify, is it easier to quantify what China's doing? After all, over the past years, it's been a net buyer of gold and helped supported the price, perhaps slowing the decline. Is it behind some of these moves higher?
Almost certainly. China wants to diversify their corporate balance sheet, if you will, and one way to do that is to sell dollars and buy gold. So they're obviously trying to do that. Of course, the undercurrent there is trade tension, the trade war with the United States. So that also makes sense. But there are so many reasons to buy gold right now. There are very few reasons to doubt it, right, except for maybe the fact it's come so far so fast.
I know you're not a fan of gold right now. So how much higher do you think it goes?
Well, I have thought for the past month or two that all of the planets were aligning and that it made tremendous sense to buy gold as a trade, as a very short-term trade, as a hedge against some of these concerns. I'm not a fan of investing in gold for the long term because not only does it not pay interest or dividends, you actually have to pay to store it and insure it. So it's actually generates a negative return. But in the short term, if you want to hedge against some of these concerns, then I've been a fan of gold, although, again, it's come a long way in a hurry.
All right, Scott Nations with Nationsshares. Scott, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.